Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to Unity of Command 2 Barbarossa, a new DLC pack that's out for Unity, or coming out for Unity of Command 2 on April 21st. This is a DLC that expands the war to the Eastern Front in 1941 and early 42. It looks in the German offensive of starting on June 22nd with Operation Barbarossa until the battles near Moscow in the late autumn of 41 and the Soviet counteroffensives in the winter of 41-42. This game, or DLC, introduces over 20 new battles. It gives you a new campaign that focuses on the German invasion from the German perspective, and it is the second DLC pack out for this turn-based war game. Unity of Command 2 is a really simple-looking, approachable turn-based war game with actually quite a bit of complexity that it hides well from sort of easy to grasp user interface. I think it's very approachable for someone who's maybe looking for something not quite as overwhelming and decipherable as something like Gary Grigsby, but is still looking for a complex and challenging war game. I will say the game really leans heavily into putting you on the side of the troops on the offensive, pretty much always. There's not really any defensive scenarios that I can think of, at least in any of the campaigns. And that's because the game does a really good job of pushing you to be the Blitzkrieg commander, pushing you to really push the initiative. The AI doesn't do as well when it's on the offensive purely, but it does do a decent job counterpunching. And so we're picking this up. This is episode number 4 of my look at Unity of Command 2 Barbarossa. It is the second battle in the campaign. It is the sort of Minsk pocket, the Minsk encirclement, where the Soviets lost over 250,000-ish soldiers. An entire front was destroyed along the border with one of Germany's most significant victories in the war. And yet, in many ways, an incomplete victory. If you read folks like David Stahl or others who sort of postulate that the cost and the overall wear and tear, more than anything, on the German forces was very worrying for the Germans, because their army raced out to these massive encirclements, took a lot of attrition, more to the environment in many cases than the Soviets, had imperfect pockets that they couldn't maintain. Lots of Soviet troops bled away and sort of escaped to fight another day, and the Germans were out there way overextended, but still had to push even further and deal with even more troops. You know, there was no decisive moment, despite it being a decisive victory. There was no decisive defeat of the Soviet forces. With that being said, guys, I'm going to jump right back into this. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. This was taken from a live stream from my Twitch channel, so let's just get right back into it. I hope you guys leave your thoughts down below. Let me know if this is something that looks interesting to you. A lot of games about invading Russia coming out lately. We've got Gary Grigsby's War in the East. We've got Unity of Command Barbarossa, this DLC, and then we've also got Cauldrons of War Stalingrad coming out shortly as well. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below. And I'll catch you guys at the end. Take those infantry casualties, 3 support. It's good enough to drive them back. Problem is now I've got no troops on that objective. I can pull my armor back to hold Grodno. I don't know. 02 overrun. Have any troops at Lydia? I don't. Take one of their supply depots. I don't know how much impact that'll have. Wait, do they not have supply? Did I just cut the supply to Bialystok? I think I did. I think taking Slonium was an unintended brilliant stroke, because they have no rail line west. Now, the enemy, well, no, unless they destroy this unit entirely. They've got no rail supply into Bialystok, so they'll be without supply by turn 6. They'll be completely suppressed unless they can take that back. Let's also take that depot. All right, engineers suppressed I'm okay with. I think I'm just going to pull the armor back here to guard that rail line. I don't, that town, as much as I don't want to, and I want to keep pressing that one unit, I think will be will be prudent. Let's do this. Let's get this mechanized formation moving north. So this infantry over here to guard that rail line so the enemy can't just dash for it. Is there any depots anywhere I can pull back without leaving a bunch of units out of supply? Looks like I can pull this one back. I can actually pull 2 trucks out of here without major impacts. There will be this one unit over here that drops out of supply, but I'll have 2 depots to push forward next turn. Don't want to do that one. That's a lot of frontline troops supported by it. About this depot. Leave a lot of my armored spearhead over there out of supply, so we'll keep those depots in place. But we'll get 2 more this next turn to drop. So that'll help. Rish79, thanks for the follow. Milty, thank you for the follow as well. Kingdom in CK, thank you for the follow. All right, let's go ahead and move forward to turn number 4. In short, you're giving the Western Front its historic issues. Hell yeah. Oh God. They're hurting my mechan. Oh, they destroyed my mechanized division there near Vilnius. Well, we lost a division, boys. But the good news is we'll take Vilnius this turn, I think. All right, these guys are completely out of supply, so let's reduce this little mini pocket. Some of these mechanized troops that way. Got a bunch of Soviet units on the front line here that are overrun. Guys can't get up far enough forward there, so we'll just finish off these enemy troops first. Ceased. Take that enemy depot that was just established, get some supply for the troops of our own troops there. So they just lose 3 trucks. I mean, we've almost closed the pocket short, so instead of the historical link up in Minsk, it's almost like we could close the pocket here at Slonium here. Slonium? That's not even, that's Slonum, however you pronounce that. Alright, let's go for Vilnius. 0 to 3, the enemy's pushed back. We'll push our armor in there. Take the free specialization. This enemy armor unit, I'd like to bomb them. Well, we took the objective, so maybe we shouldn't. Move our mechanized troops forward here. Just trying to reduce the enemy troops around Vilnius to lessen the likelihood of a successful counterattack. And we'll attack Pinsk there. I'd like to give them emergency supply. The drive on Minsk. The Panzers are loose. Now this is a very exposed supply line here. We could try and push west or north, I guess. You guys should have supply though, right? We should have supply going up the railroad unless something surprises us. I'm worried they're going to destroy this bridge shy of Minsk, but I wasn't able to get enough movement points to push over it. And our infantry is way back here, left way behind. We do have this one cavalry unit, which could be nice. They might be able to move a little bit quicker, keep up. So we've got two turns to buy. It'll still be 50 when we take, if we take it next turn. So can we do this? I can't do a set piece attack with these troops. I can with these guys. So we'll do set piece attack against this enemy armor. We get a breach. Our pioneers will attack. They get another breach. We get a 0 to 2. Drive them back. Our mechanized forces over the bridge. Overrun. Not an overrun, but we did drive them back. Push north here to hit that enemy armor. Destroy it. Mechanized formation. Okay. That's all very good news. Can't quite get close. Oh, I can. All right, we'll finish off that armored division. So we've also encircled Bialystok as well. We'll swing this armor north to protect our supply line here by putting units right in it by this enemy armor. This enemy cavalry is completely out of supply, so we can go ahead and reduce it. I would really like an artillery unit. Shit. Hold the town with those troops. Do we have this rail line open? We do. Okay, so we've got a rail line open also to the troops north near Vilnius, so that should help the supply situation there. Okay. I suppose there's a chance Bialystok could hold out for another turn, just because I don't quite have the force composition I would like in front of the town. And this is a strong Soviet motorized division, so you know, between the motorized division and this tank unit, they could launch some counterattacks, but their supply situation, I'm hoping, precludes too effective of an attack. Let's also see if we can't bomb these guys and do that a 0-2. So that should preclude an effective attack from them. Also cross the river here, get adjacent to the town here. What's the headquarters situation here? Let's move these guys forward a little bit to make sure we can support complex operations against the city. Move this Panzer group forward to Vilnius. Where's the other Panzer group? Already moved it north. Okay, what about these depots here? Suppose we could throw both the trucks in here, but that may not be wise. Let's, instead of that, these guys are going to be out of supply. One depot there. I guess they could go for my depot here, but whatever. Put it there to support. And we'll see what the enemy has in store for us. Meanwhile, like, are there any bridges I want to destroy? I don't think so. Like, generally speaking, I guess we could look for enemy supply depots, so let's maybe destroy that one. Or actually the one to the east, maybe? This one is, I suppose, more relevant, supporting troops that are surrounded. So go ahead and end the turn and move forward to turn number 5. But the infantry at Vilnius is pulling back. The armor also pulled north. So rather than launch a counterattack, they're withdrawing. They didn't blow the bridge in front of Minsk. What's our recon of Minsk? So 2 infantry units in front of Minsk. I botched that. I wish I had airdropped supplies. Pensk we could easily take by turn 5, but I don't have the supplies for it. Erg! These guys are out of supply and they don't have a headquarters to push supply forward for them. Good news is these guys should be out of supply permanently, so they'll probably attrit away to nothing and just advance. Without loss. Need to push some of these troops up this rail line, though, to support that armored spearhead, so they're not all out there on their own. All right, let's work on reducing these enemy units. So we got those guys. 1-to-1. All right, can we take Bialystok this turn? I guess we're gonna bombard first. Do no damage, because of course we won't. I mean, do I want to take the casualties? I can move my pioneers up this way. They get the breach that we did. The pioneers are lost, but I think it's a worthy sacrifice because they get the breach to remove the entrenchments there for those enemies. Oh my god, they just destroyed that unit. You lose a lot of victory points when that happens, by the way. But we took the objective on time. Wipe out that unit, get the overrun. Alright, so rail line should get all these guys back into supply. So race our armor east, I guess, again. But hey, we took the town. We didn't even turn it into ruins. We're supposed to take Minsk next turn, which I suppose is possible. Might be difficult attacking that town, especially if they dig in. I'll get my engineer tanks out that way. Those tanks are heavily entrenched. But that also kind of tells me maybe they're not intending to move. Meanwhile, can I pull some of these depots now? Yep, can pull all 3 of those depots back. All right, this enemy unit is cut off for 2 turns now, so they'll actually be completely suppressed next turn. And we'll be able to easily roll them over. Push my infantry east. All right. Attack and overrun. All right, so I'm gonna need supply. These guys are, some of these units are gonna be in trouble. But I actually think I'll cut their own, they may get supply coming down from the north. I mean, this infantry is not going to get out there in time. All right, I think that's everybody for this turn. So we'll move forward here to turn number 6. Which hopefully we can take Minsk on. We'll see. I was kind of wondering if they'd move their infantry to support Minsk. They did move some units around, not a ton. So they didn't even dig their troops at Minsk in. Which is interesting, because I've got 2 engineer units. I'll move the mechanized infantry forward first. The pioneers are used up, but they're not killed. The armored division is less fortunate. But they weaken Minsk enough to take the city. I can then race the 3rd Panzer Division through, break across the river, destroy that infantry unit, and overrun an enemy armored unit in the drive on Borisov, which is one of our 3 remaining secondaries. We'll keep pushing east, finish off that enemy armor. And another enemy armored unit to the east there. Concern really at this point becomes, do we have sufficient forces to hold Minsk? Do I race to Borisov now, or do I hold off a turn? Baruch down there in the south is also another objective. Pinsk, I think we can take that in time. Let's do this. We've got 3 depots. Let's drop one here to get these guys back in supply. These guys are completely out of supply, so we'll go ahead and overrun and breach. Thanks for the follow, Sugleen, and Vicar44. Thanks for the sub. Appreciate the support. Pasha48, thank you for the follow as well. I don't think I thanked you before. These prisoners. These rail lines are a godsend. Push that armor off to the north. Guys should be in supply next turn, right? Yeah. All right, where do we need to place our other supply here? All right, we'll do that in Vilnius. Everybody keep marching east. I mean, at this point, a lot of this infantry is kind of their drive east is a little bit meaningless. We should take Pinsk next turn. The mechanized forces might have a chance to race to catch up, but there's no way all this infantry get far enough to get back into the fight. Can we pull back these depots? We just really need to get these troops on rail lines and such so they're in supply. Also, we could probably raise the headquarters unit forward now. X-Ray Lion, thank you for the follow. Yep, facing the real life problem of the infantry being left behind, 100%. which wasn't really even nearly as bad at Minsk as it would be later. All right, I also need to move some of this armor southeast. Slight concern that this enemy could try and cut my supply line, though. All these guys are fully in supply, though, so less of a concern, I guess. Nice. All right. That was a good result. Move the armor forward here. Mechanized into Minsk to hold. So these two armored units will make a play for Borzhov, which it looks like there's one enemy infantry and a tank unit. They'll have 2 turns to take it. I think this mechanized and armored unit will drive toward Borishk, which unfortunately I used up my pioneers trying to do some stuff. All right, I don't think there's any risk of troops hitting me in the flank at Vilnius, so I think I can advance. Well, I don't really want to attack those guys and use up those pioneer tanks, so we'll hold off on that. I'll supply for 2 turns. They'll be back in supply next turn. Hopefully the Soviets don't counterattack me there. And we'll see what turn number 7 has in store for us. We've achieved all our primaries sort of in the on time or for the major victory perspective. Oh no, they did exactly what I hoped they wouldn't. They destroyed that armored unit. The only thing I'm worried about from like a victory perspective is the game may be like, hey, you took too many casualties for this to be considered a major victory or something like that. Thanks for the follow, Benny and Lord Rock. Hit that enemy armor. Hell yeah. Because you lose victory points the more casualties you take. I guess is my point. Okay, so the enemy did move to greet me in front of Borzhov. The good news is I just destroyed their armored unit there. Fuck, my pioneers got killed. But I took the objective anyway. Alright, can these infantry get up there? Not really. 0-5 overrun, very nice. 0-2 overrun, very nice. 0-2 overrun, very nice. Keep hitting them, boys. 0-3. Nice. It was unoccupied. We took it. And so we get, I guess this is added to the pool, an SD KFZ. And we'll take this one. There you go. We got all of our secondary objectives. And I think we got, I mean, we accomplished them on the turn we were supposed to accomplish them. So I think that counts as sort of an on-time victory. Get those guys back in supply. pockets of, I guess, they're not really pockets of enemy resistance as far as I can tell, but they could house enemy troops. I think that's gonna do it for the battle, though. I think we'll win. I guess technically the enemy could counterattack. Go ahead and bomb that infantry. We could spend the next turn sort of mopping up some prisoners. That would give us more points. But overall, I think, let's see, they've got 2 units down near Slutisk. But I don't think they've got the strength to counterattack Minsk with 2 infantry units, nor can they likely get there. They've got some more units we probably would want to mop up as prisoners. I don't want to attack that infantry and take those casualties. I don't really want to abandon Minsk either, just on the off chance that they can get there. So, yeah. I think that's it for this battle. We'll just go ahead and end the turn, and I'm assuming we win. Okay. There you go. You are victorious. All primary objectives have been completed, and there are no more bonus objectives left. You can continue this scenario now, and you may also continue for a few more turns if you want. I mean, it's really just mopping up at that point. I don't know if you can lose if you lose your objectives, but I think we'll just end the scenario. So there you can see primary objectives taken on time, so we get the gold Iron Cross. We don't get the medal for the campaign, so that's weird because our score was like 3 times higher than the last one. We killed 50 enemy steps. We took 81 prisoners, so for a total of 131 enemy casualties against 44 German casualties. Those are pretty heavy German casualties if you think about it, given we've only taken Minsk. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with that result. But with that being said, that's going to do it for this episode of Unity of Command 2 Barbarossa, a sneak peek at the upcoming DLC pack, which comes out on April 21st and adds the Eastern Front and the German invasion of Russia to the Unity of Command 2 game. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave your thoughts down below. And as always, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out.